Hello everyone. Today I'm trying to clean up around where our brush pile was. I'm trying to get all the metal picked up around here. So we've burnt brush back here on this concrete pad for the last couple years, but we've also burnt scrap lumber. We've burnt a bunch of the stuff that we've ripped out of the barn over here. So there's a bunch of nails, staples, hinges, different things like that that is mixed in with the ash. But if you haven't watched the stump burnout video, there's a huge amount of metal in the ground around here, and you could see how much metal was just around the stump we burnt out. And you're always finding metal in the ground around here as well. So I'm afraid to drive a tractor back here. I'm afraid that I might puncture a tire, and that could end up being maybe a $500 bill to have somebody pop the tire off and replace the inner tube, and could get really expensive real fast. So I'm afraid to use a tractor back here to clean this up. So I'll probably actually have to do this all by hand. But once we get it all cleaned up, we'll put some gravel down back here and we'll have a nice area to park. But I've had people tell me, you know, that I need to get one of the magnetic pickup tools so I can get all the nails and everything out of the ground. So I've looked at those, and a lot of the ones at the big box stores, to me, I'm not really sure how well they work. You know, they look kind of cheap, but I actually have some really big magnets, and I've been thinking about making my own. So my brother-in-law got me these magnets. They're out of some big industrial machine. I'm not sure exactly what they're out of, but these are like a 4x6 magnet. They're about an inch thick. I mean, these are super big, super strong magnets. I think I got about 4 or 5 of them. And you can see that this magnet can pick up this piece of C-channel. You see that? So it's a pretty strong magnet. So hopefully it's going to be big enough or strong enough to pull the nails and everything up out of this ash, and we'll be able to clean all this area up. So I'm really curious at how much stuff we can pick up today with some of these magnets. So I bought a couple wheels. We're going to go to the pole barn now and see if we can make our own magnetic pickup tool. Oh, I hear them part with each other. Huh. You can tell the polarity. Look at that. Alright. So I can tell real quickly, you gotta have these pointing the same way or they repel each other. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Pushing it 3 inches away. So if I turn it this way, it's doing the same thing. I think I need to flip it over. Oh, you don't want to get your hands in between there. All right, okay, so they're magnetized to each other now. So I've got the magnets sitting on top of a 2x4, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a wooden spacer here at the end, and that's going to keep the magnets from wanting to shift from side to side. Push my magnets up against it, and then I'm going to add another spacer to the other side. I can feel the hammer pulling toward the magnets. A little weird. So I tend to overcomplicate things, so we're going to actually try to keep this simple. We're just going to take a piece of wire and wrap around the back of it. I'm just going to twist it on here kind of loose for now. So I'm going to center each one of these wires because they're just kind of on here loose. I'm going to center each one of these in the magnet that it's holding. Now I'm just going to take a board and I'm going to flatten those out. Turn it over. Well, it helps if I had. All right. Just going to try to bend this around the side a little bit. Make a nice bend in the wire just by tapping it with my hammer. and I'm pulling up on the wire at the same time. All right, so it's flat on the bottom, it's coming up the sides. Now it's time to continue to twist my wire. It's actually magnetizing all the way through that 2x4. You see that? That's pretty crazy. That's how strong those magnets are. Now at this point in time, you could go ahead and try to make a new bend a little closer, and then tighten it. All right, that one's a good tight bend right there. So now I'm gonna bend my wires down. So you can see the magnets are on there. They're on there fairly secure. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna cut it off right here on the side of this spacer. So these are the wheels that I bought for this project, and I'm thinking if I lag this into this 2x4, you can see I'm going to have about 1.5 inches space between the bottom of the magnet and the bottom of the wheel. I think that'll work out fairly well. Okay, loose enough to spin. So we have a piece of closet rod, wooden closet rod, and then we drew an 1.25 inch hole in the 4x4 that we kind of cut down to put on the top. And then we're going to take this and stick it inside of here. Take the other end. Now this is going to be kind of snug. May actually have to hit this with a hammer a little bit. Okay, so I think we got our piece of closet rod in here all the way. So now what I'm going to do is just kind of drill a screw in here. This is just to keep it from coming out. Okay, I think it's done. So I think this is going to work out fairly good. So I've only got about $12 in this for the wheels. So the rest of this is all stuff I had lying around. And of course my brother-in-law is the one that gave me the magnets. So let's go give this a shot. So I've got the magnetic pickup tool that we just put together. And this thing's fairly heavy. I'm not sure exactly how much this weighs. Probably at least 20 pounds. And but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to roll it around in the grass first. Let's see how much stuff we can find outside of the area that we burned. So I just did like about 2 or 3 passes there, only about maybe 6 feet off the road. Maybe a little bit more, 8 feet off the road. And I already have a handful of nails. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I think this is going to do the job. Now I can obviously tell really quick. There's more nails. There's a bolt. That that probably the wheels should actually be a little bit higher. See, I was afraid I'd end up being too tall and it wouldn't pick up anything, but the uneven ground's what gets you. I think because this is so wide, if there's a little hump in the ground, it wants to catch. But I think it'll work fairly well. If anything, I might have to shorten it just so that it doesn't hit the ground so often. But let's go ahead and see how much we can get. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's just over the first section. Look at how many nails. Oh, look at that. That is crazy. I'd say, oh man, you can see how many nails is in here. That is crazy. Bolts. I don't know about you, but I think this magnetic pickup tools, I think this is going to be awesome. Now I gotta admit, this is probably where an electromagnet would actually be really cool, because you could just turn it off and it would release all this stuff instead of having to fight it to get it off of there. Okay, that was the first pass. Try it again. So this is the second time over the exact same spot, and you can see we got quite a few nails, not quite as many as the first time. So now I'm loosening the ash up, and hopefully when we go over it again we'll even get more nails. Okay, thing's heavy. Look at all that. You can tell that loosening all this ash up really helps how much nails you can pick up out of it. Man. So look at all of these nails, and everything here that we picked up with that magnetic tool is all sitting on top of here. That's a lot of nails. Now, honestly, I didn't do the whole thing, okay? I didn't do this pile. I mean, I just did from, from the front side. And I did over here by the stump, and I kind of got out here in the grass and from here over to the road. And all of that is really from this concrete pad out to the driveway. So I think I'm good enough. You can see I've got it all swept off. I think I'm good enough where I can get a tractor in here now and scoop up this pile. I've got it all swept into a pile, and I think I'm good enough where I won't pop a tire, and I can use the tractor now. I may just have to get a dumpster and scoop that pile of ash and debris up and just put that in a dumpster and have it hauled off. So this magnetic pickup tool worked out great. It was amazing how many nails this thing would pick up. I didn't even think there was that many nails in there. I mean, it was just crazy. This thing did a great job. My only issue is that it does drag the ground a little bit. So I think these wheels that I put on there, I think they were 7 inches. So I probably could have gone a little bit bigger. That might have helped it not drag so much. But overall, I'm happy with the way it turned out. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. So I'm definitely going to keep this. This is going to come in handy in the future. So this has been a project that I've actually wanted to do for a while now, and I finally got to do that today. So it was super easy to do. Probably only took me about 20-25 minutes to put this together. So if you guys ever come across any like really big magnets anywhere, you might pick them up and give this a shot. I think this is just a fun, easy project to do, and it actually works really good. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.